Hello, I'm Chuck Wooden. I'm also joined by my co-host, Monique Melanson-Hunter, and you're watching the Veterans Corner.
Thank you, Chuck. If you haven't seen the Veterans Corner before, it's a show that supports our veterans, their families, and those who support veterans in our community.
Thank you, Monique. We have another great show for you tonight. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong camera. There we are. We're over here. Got to make fun out of this, right?
Chuck, it's all right.
We have a representative from Run for the Fallen, Connecticut. It's Barbara Michalek. Did I say that right?
You said it right.
Look at that. That's one for the books.
So far, so good.
Barbara, thank you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you.
You know, actually, we've talked about this for a while, I think. We've been going back and forth, and it's great to finally have you here.
Thank you.
I know you do a great event down there in Middletown. There's a lot of information to cover. We're going to jump right into this. We always start with a military background, and I know that you are a veteran, actually active.
I am. Reserves.
Reserves.
I'm in the reserves, yes, correct. So.
What branch?
I'm in the Air Force Reserves.
How long have you been there?
So, it'll be 18 years in January, so.
You know, on behalf of the Veterans Corner, the viewers, everyone, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Not only for your service in the military, but thank you for everything you do, as we're going to find out very shortly. I know what you do. We're going to let the viewers know. There's a lot of information to cover.
Right.
So, Monique, want to jump into it?
So, can you tell our viewers what the mission is for the Run for the Fallen event that you hold every year?
Sure. So, Run for the Fallen is dedicated to honoring fallen service members from Connecticut and preserving that memory and public awareness of fallen soldiers, of what a Gold Star family is, and providing an opportunity for them to learn more and to honor our fallen soldiers. So we have an annual public event every September, and so that's our way of reaching out to the community and the families and being able to carry out our mission and get more people involved.
And for the viewers that don't know what a Gold Star mother or family is, those are families, you hear the term Gold Star mother, and that's a mother that have lost a child killed in action. So whenever you hear Gold Star, that's significant. It usually goes with Gold Star mother or Gold Star families. Blue Star would be they're actually serving now in country. How did the Run for the Fallen get started, Barbara?
It actually started as a national event back in 2008. A group of runners and service members ran across the country, starting in California all the way to Arlington, and dedicated 1 mile to all of the soldiers, service members who had been lost to the war and terror. And they actually had a 10-year anniversary event last year and replicated something similar to that. So after that event happened, a lot of states started their own chapters, and there was a group in Connecticut of runners, veterans, and just folks who supported veterans in the military, and they started a chapter here.
Were you part of that at that time?
I was not. I got involved about 6 years ago, so I'm a runner, so I found out about it through a running group, and it really made an impression on me, and especially being out there and seeing all the names every time we would stop at a marker and meeting some of the families, and so it was different. It was a little bit different setup back then, but yes, it's something similar. So it made a lasting impression, and I wanted to get more involved. Yeah.
So where does your event take place, and when does it start?
So the event takes place at Veterans Memorial Park in Middletown. It's also the home of the Connecticut Trees of Honor Memorial, which is an absolutely breathtaking memorial And it's also the home to the newly opened military museum. So a lot of wonderful things
And the
happening.
special guerrilla unit.
And the special
And
yeah, yes.
Sergeant Stubby,
And
Yep.
Sergeant Stubby.
who I love very much.
Can't leave
There's
Sergeant
actually a
Stubby out.
few memorials down there.
There are.
Yes.
It's a wonderful spot. So a lot to see there. And so our event, if you're a runner, the event starts at 6 a.m. and goes until approximately 2:30 in the afternoon. We have folks running. The total kilometer distance is 65 kilometers, one for each service member that we've lost in Connecticut since 9/11. So we run for 65 service members, and so we start pretty early because it takes some time to cover that distance, and so we wrap it up around 2:30 and go right into a ceremony, a remembrance ceremony, where we announce the names of the 65 and have some other things going on. So, but otherwise, if you're not a runner, don't worry. There is plenty for you to do. Starting around 11:30, between 11:30 and 2:30, we have a cookout lunch. We're going to have a lot of special guest performances. We have Civil Air Patrol will be there doing some demonstrations. We have Civil War reenactors. We're going to have some therapy horses there doing some demos. A lot of really, really neat stuff going on in the afternoon. So, and we're also going to have an educational activity this year, an interactive activity. Visitors can pick up a map, and there will be designated points around that folks can stop and learn something about military history or about Sergeant Stubby.
Yeah.
And POW MIA will have a stop around that, and it'll end with a visit to a Gold Star family tent, and we've had some families graciously offer to meet with visitors, show pictures, talk a little bit more about the lives of the fallen, because it's wonderful that we are able to remember and we have beautiful plaques and that, but we really want people to be able to hear the stories and learn about the lives of these individuals and hear it from their families.
For those that haven't been down to Veterans Park, which is where the Connecticut Trees of Honor is
Yes.
in Middletown, I remember back when it was just in its beginning stages, and before they even started cutting trees down for it. When Sue Martuccio and Diane, what's Diane's name? Deluzio, Gold Star mother,
Yes.
were here. Actually, they were on the show.
Yeah.
Both of them were here in the beginning stages, and then Sue was here. Actually, for a double
She came
header, I
back for
think.
Sergeant Stubby.
Yeah.
Sergeant,
Yes.
it was a double header, I believe.
Yes, it was. Because
you
she
know-
talked about the Trees of Honor,
Yeah.
and then she talked about Sergeant Stubby.
A whole show dedicated
Yes.
to Sergeant Stubby.
Yes.
They've turned an area down there into, which is pretty much now sacred ground. For the viewers, if you have an opportunity to go there, it's definitely something to see and experience.
Yeah, it is.
really
It
is.
is.
What now, you were talking about, the next question I was going to ask is, how far is the run? And you said it's 65 kilometers. Now, for those of us who are not metrically inclined, was that the proper terminology? Probably not, but I'm going to say it.
Make up things,
I'm
but
sticking.
that works. We all understand what you mean.
What's that in miles?
That's approximately 40 miles.
40 miles.
40
okay.
miles. So,
Not
yes.
one person. Like, people are breaking it down, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, most people are. We do have some ultra runners that come out every year and do the whole thing.
40 miles?
Yeah. Yeah. But for everyone else, we break it into 8-kilometer or 5-mile segments, and they're run at a certain pace. So it's not a race. So I would like to let everyone know this is not a timed race. Think of it as a group run, a group almost. We don't put you in formation, but for those who are veterans or have been in this situation, kind of running in formation as a group. So we have that camaraderie with the runners, and so it's a timed distance. But every kilometer, we have a marker that has a picture and the name of a fallen service member.
I've seen that in the pictures that you had sent me. And hopefully we can get those on the screen for the viewers to see.
Yeah, yeah. And
If not, I'm definitely going to share those on our
that would be
page.
great. that would be great. We also added in a couple of other items this year for runners. We have a 5-kilometer segment, so about 3 miles at the very last lap. So folks who don't want to do the whole 5 miles, we have a 5K segment at the end. So they would just jump in with that last group and run with them. And we also have a 400-meter children's run this year. So when the last...
Why are you looking at me, Chuck? I'm looking at you because we're both thinking the same thing.
Where's the sign-up
Do you
sheet?
need any chaperones? Because we can handle that.
So when the last group of runners comes in, they will actually run in and they do a lap around the memorial.
Okay.
And it's really neat to see. And so this year, the children's run, they will jump in with that group and they will be able to run that last lap around the memorial. So
Nice.
we'll give them flags, and so it'll be really nice. So any kids, that would be a good way for them to get involved as well.
Did we ask about walking?
No?
No. Yes, walking. So there is a walking area on site. We actually use the path around the memorial. So anyone who's interested in walking, by all means, come out. We'll give you tools to track how long or how far you've walked. We do have a big sign that tallies the total kilometers that everyone ran or walked for that day. So we kind of do an announcement at the end of how many total everyone. So we do track, even if you're a walker. We'll track how far you walked for our fallen.
That means if you do go and sign up for the walk, you're going to have to do it.
She was very busy last year volunteering.
I volunteered last year, Chuck, and I don't remember seeing you
I was there. I was behind the scenes.
Okay, well, I'm sure, but I don't remember that. But I do remember the Civil War reenactment, which is very exciting, and everything was so beautiful. So I was there, and tell everyone about the ceremony that's at the very end.
Yeah. So the Remembrance Ceremony has some different components. We have some wonderful guest speakers who will be there this year, including a Gold Star mother who will be speaking. We will also be doing a couple of special presentations for some fallen service members. We'll be giving an Honor and Remember flag to the family of a Vietnam veteran or Vietnam service member who was killed in action. And we'll also be doing a special presentation of an Honor and Remember flag to one of the sailors we lost on the USS McCain a couple of years ago. So we'll be doing that. The Middletown Fire Department assists us with part of the ceremony, but we do a segment where we read all the names of the 65 fallen, and they will ring a bell after each name.
Nice.
And we have service members out in uniform saluting each one of the plaques around the memorial. So it's a beautiful ceremony, and if you're able to make it out, even just for that, that would be fantastic.
So can anyone attend, whether they're running or not? Can they just come to the ceremony?
Absolutely. This is a public event, so come for lunch. Come to see. You can see some of our Civil War reenactors and some of the folks we have there. We have Kempo Karate coming back to do a martial arts demonstration. So we have a lot of good stuff going on. We'll be doing a missing man table. POW MAA will be doing a roll call for the Connecticut individuals who are still
missing,
designated as POW MAA. And we also have some folks coming in from the Middletown area and the state. I just found out today that some the signs for the Military Museum and the Connecticut Trees of Honor Memorial were approved by the Department of Transportation. So they're going to actually have road signs
on Route 9.
I don't know the specifics. I just found that out, but at 12:30 they will be on site and they're going to do an unveiling of the signs and a little ceremony for that as well. So we have that going on during the day.
Now, one of the questions that we were going to ask is, you said there's other activities. Other than the ones that you mentioned, what else is going to be going on? You said about the horses, therapy horses.
Yeah, so we'll have the horses there. We have the Civil War reenactor. We have the martial arts demonstration going on. We have Civil Air Patrol coming out. They're going to do a flag folding and flag history demonstration. Okay. I mentioned the signs. The educational activity is for kids and adults. So come on out, grab a map. We'll stamp your map at each stop. It's a good way. We'll have points of reflection to help guests interact with the different stops and learn something about them. And when they finish, they can come back, show that they have all the stamps on their map, and we'll give them some Run for the Fallen swag to take with them for finishing the activity.
So you're not going to be able to cheat. You're going to have to hit each station.
It's designed to take.
We will both be running then, Chuck.
So it's designed. You should be able to get through it in approximately 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how fast you walk. So,
love
or you
that.
can stay longer.
I think people are very interested in the history of it. And like I said, I haven't been to the Military Museum yet. There's so much to see there. It is, I think people don't
quite a
really know
museum.
where it
I've been
is.
inside.
I think having the highway signs is definitely going to
Yeah.
be a big boost because
Yes.
you'd be surprised how many people that live in Middletown haven't even been there. And it's a
Yeah.
beautiful place.
Well, the park itself is actually tucked away.
It is.
It is.
It is,
It's off. I mean, Route 3 is probably is the easiest landmark as far as describing where it is.
Right.
You have to go through a small little residential area, and then you're there.
Yeah. Well, and if folks know where Palmer Field is, it's
Yeah.
situated right behind there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and you could actually get in two different ways because I came in like the residential area. And so there was two entrances basically to get in. So I
Yes.
wasn't aware of that, so I
Yeah.
figured that out.
Yeah.
And,
Well, yeah, the other area is actually it's a little more difficult to get to because that really goes through a lot of the more of a residential
yes,
area.
exactly. Yeah, I kind of came upon it, I think, by surprise. But
Yeah, I've actually gone out that way before, and it's you got to do a lot of turning. But
yeah.
the best way to
So
come in is right
beautiful.
off of Route 3.
and then when you come through and you come into the park, and then it's amazingly beautiful. You know, everything that you could see there. It's really nice. Do you want to ask her about the Eagle Scout project?
Sure.
Yeah.
We heard about the Eagle Scout project.
Yes.
And it's a recipient. This whole event is a recipient of that
Yes,
project, right?
yes.
Can you tell the viewers a little bit about it?
So we have a young man from Middletown High School who is a Boy Scout working on his Eagle Scout project this year, and he had volunteered with us for a few years before this, and has family members serving in the military, and approached me and said, "This event really means a lot to me. I'd like to talk to you about possibly doing an Eagle Scout project." So he is currently fundraising to purchase 65 flags, and well 66 because
Yeah.
Sergeant Stubby will have a flag as well. And his goal is to have people in uniform standing behind each one of the plaques at the Trees of Honor Memorial with a American flag during our ceremony.
Wow.
So that's part of his project. He has some other pieces, but that will be the highlight of his
excellent.
project that people will see. So it really meant a lot to us that he thought of us, and so we're really excited to have them there.
It
this year.
certainly enhances
Yeah.
everything that you're doing. I mean,
Each person, each site is represented in a special way with
Yes.
someone standing with the flag. I think that's really special.
Yes. And we
so-
do have some of the fallen who were Eagle Scouts, so
Oh,
he will be
really?
also incorporating that into part of
recognizing
those,
on
recognizing,
each,
yes.
each plaque.
Yeah.
So do you need volunteers that day? Because I know I volunteered last year, and I really enjoyed it. It was I'll tell you, it was well
Yeah.
put together, it was well organized, and I enjoyed it
Yes.
thoroughly enjoyed volunteering. I'm hoping to be able to do some in the
Yes,
morning
thank
this
you.
year. I really enjoyed it. So do you
Yeah.
need volunteers?
Absolutely. We always need volunteers. So obviously it's a long day. There are a lot of moving parts that go on. So absolutely, we need volunteers the whole day. So
From 6, actually before 6, right?
it's
Whenever
still
you
dark
can get there,
then.
yeah.
I mean, we're
You
still
want me
stumbling.
to- I'll show up the night before and camp out before 6 a.m. I'm
Yeah, so
Well, the run starts at 6. I
it
don't
starts
know.
at 6,
That's
so I
true.
would say somewhere around 7 a.m. on is probably a good time. If you look at our website, we have the times broken down, so
Great.
you're welcome anytime. You know the
Okay.
ropes. But
He's signing me up for
She
6
was
a.m.
wonderful
I'm
last
going to
year, by
show
the way.
up at 6 a.m. and where is
You-
everyone?
I was trying to be subtle.
Yes.
But you did get it.
yes, but we need help everywhere with the visitors that we have coming in, with parking with the educational activity, registration, all of that. So yeah.
Actually, I was going to ask you, and I think you just answered the question as far as what they can volunteer for, parking and stuff like that.
Yeah, lots of different things to help
Yeah.
out with.
Yes.
So yeah.
There's stuff for everyone, all abilities.
Yes.
And just show up. Now, how can the viewers donate?
If you go to our website, runforthefallenct.org, there is a donations page on there. So you're able to donate online. We do have a link on there. This event is run on donations, solely on donations. We are a 501c3. We are a registered nonprofit, so we do run this event off of donations. It's a memorial event. We wanted to make sure that anyone could attend. So it is free. Runners do not have to. We do ask that you register, but it is free to participate in because it's more about the memorial piece and honoring, remembering the fallen.
So would they also go to that website if our viewers are interested in just the organization in general
Yes.
and the event? So any
Yes.
information at all, so they can know ahead of time what's happening. So
Run-
can you tell me again what the website is again?
It is runforthefallenct.org. And all of our event information is on there. If you are interested in running, if you're interested in walking, volunteering, links to all of that is on there. You can find the registration information, an outline of the events for the day, all of that.
Can I ask her another question?
You sure can.
I know it's not on our list.
We have about 3 minutes
All right,
left.
I will. I'm just going to take 3. Was there something of the event, the one thing from your event that really sticks out in your mind as being just like so moving? One of the many things that you do.
I would have to say, and I take this back to my first time actually running the event. When you are out on the route, or even at the, at our field afterwards, or we'll just go back out to the route. When you stop at that kilometer sign as a runner, and there's a family member there of that fallen service member there to greet you, there are just really no words at that point. And
It makes it all worthwhile.
it is. There's that connection, and to hear them speak about that fallen service member, about their loved one, and share a piece of that person and that person's life with you. There really are no words. It's just very moving, very moving.
Real fast for the viewers,
that, Barbara.
Yeah.
the date and time again for this.
September 21st. If you're an early bird and a runner, come at 6 a.m. The laps start every hour, so 6, 7, 8, so on, through 1 o'clock. And if you're not a runner, you are welcome to come and walk anytime. And like I said, the other events that happen start around 11:30, and the ceremony starts at 2:30. So everyone's
I'll
welcome.
definitely be there around 11:30.
And I just want to give a few announcements. September 20th, which is a Friday from 8 to 2 at the Department of Veterans Affairs Rock Hill campus, 8 to 2. It's the Stand Down 2019 event. September 28th at Foxwoods, they're having the Forever in My Heart Gala. It's the 3rd annual, and it's a wonderful event, and band, and wonderful Heidi Voigt is the host. So
Montel
check it
Williams
out.
is gonna be there.
Montel Williams is going to be there. Thank you for reminding me.
That just came out. One last thing, we got the Warrior Wellness Trail Ride, and that is to benefit Operation Warrior Horse, Healing Hoofbeats, another past guest. That is September 22nd. It's up in Morris. It's 94 Isaiah Smith Lane, and another great event. Therapeutic Horses, where are they coming from?
It's actually a gentleman that started his own organization. So,
Awesome.
so.
I'm just curious.
It's-
Just
I
curious.
can't think, I have to be honest,
Yeah.
I cannot remember the name of
I'm
his
just wondering if it
organization.
was one of our past guests.
Oh,
Okay, we got about
possibly.
10 seconds left. I want to thank the viewers. Actually, I want to thank Barb. Thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
here.
for having me.
We're going to have you back.
Wonderful.
That's all the time we had. I want to thank the viewers for watching. My name is Chuck Wooden.
I'm Monique Melanson Hunter.
Good night, and we'll see you next time on the Veterans Corner.